Ending. Russia's war in Ukraine is emerging as a central theme in US President Donald Trump's upcoming talks with European leaders. Sources confirm that Trump will meet British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in Scotland, with Ukraine high on the agenda. British officials say they see a clear shift in Trump's recent remarks on Ukraine and Russia, describing his tone as more proactive compared to earlier positions, reported Guardian. Before leaving Washington, Trump signaled that secondary sanctions on Russia could be implemented sooner than expected. Initially announced on July 14th, these sanctions were tied to a 50-day deadline for Moscow to end the war. But on July 25th, Trump hinted the timeline may accelerate, saying it could be that we'll have to impose secondary sanctions on them.
We're looking at that whole situation. It could be that we'll have to put secondary sanctions.
Secondary sanctions are aimed at crippling Russia's oil revenue, which makes up nearly 1/3 of its federal budget. The move would target third parties trading with Moscow, such as countries buying Russian oil, with penalties like 100% tariffs on US imports. The push for sanctions comes as diplomatic efforts struggle. The latest round of peace talks in Istanbul lasted less than an hour, with Russia rejecting a full ceasefire. Ukraine has proposed a summit between President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin by the end of August, potentially involving Trump. While Zelensky is open to direct talks, Putin has refused to attend in person. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says he will engage both leaders about hosting future negotiations in Turkey.
The Ukrainian delegation met with us in Ankara before passing to the Apprentice. I also received them and had meetings with them. Of course, in the meantime, I had a meeting with Mr. Vladimir Putin, and in this meeting, we asked for their support, and in the following process, perhaps, especially this week, we will make an effort to see if we can bring these leaders together in Istanbul by making meetings with Mr. Putin, again, and also with Mr. Trump.
Trump's discussions in Scotland signal a dual-track approach: economic pressure through sanctions and renewed diplomatic outreach. Whether this strategy delivers progress remains uncertain,